3, 2, 1. Hey guys, this is Ryan Lindsay here. And yeah, we're actually doing this. Especially after everything me, my friends, and my family have been throughout my whole life. Today, I'm going to make a new ranking of my top 10 most hated characters of all time. And while not much of my opinions have entirely changed, it's not much, though some characters I like better, but some not so much. But yeah, they are definitely a good amount of characters that are either more controversial or have become very unsure about their worth from Joe Leno, and those that got better and some very appreciated for. But right now, let's start by ranking my top 10 least favorite characters of all time before going into my most favorites later on. Let's begin. But anyways, let's begin. Ranking number 10, Chad Dixon, aka number 274 from Codename Kids Next Door. Now, I started watching that series again a while back, mostly in reaction videos of other people reviewing about those said shows and such. Link to the channel in the description. But anyways, well, I won't say that the Codename Kids Next Door is one of my most favorite shows of all time. And there's a lot of things that could be controversial there, but I still really like it. Maybe not as much as other shows on Cartoon Network, like the original Teen Titans series, Flight Total Drama, and Powerpuff Girls. And then there's Steven Universe and such later on. But anyways, well, I do consider some characters as some of my favorites of all time. Like Sonya, also known as number 68, as well as characters like number 5, Tiny Milligan, is Rachel Tina Kenzie, though they have also been a lot of controversial characters. Like some of the parent characters, and also Gabe, the Kid Next Door scientist that happens to be running the Galactic Kid Next Door. And there's also grandfather from that movie. But the worst of them that I find the most controversial is definitely a number 274, who is introduced on the top tier Kids Next Door members of all time, and more of a supporting character for most of season 1. Basically, in the season 2 finale of the show, where Chad isn't supposed to have his 13th birthday, though he doesn't want anyone to find out because he knew that they would try decommissioning, as few Kids Next Door members that do or are about to turn 13 are usually they have to be decommissioned. Prevent them from potentially turning to the dark side. But Chad didn't want them to be out of Kids Next Door, so he decided to mess with the code modulator, change his aid, in order to make sure no one knows that he is about to become a teenager. Though a good amount of some Kids Next Door just 13, well, some of them actually do get to still be Kids Next Doors even after their 13 birthdays. Like Maurice, also known as number 9. He was one of my favorite characters. alongside
Abigail Lincoln,
Lincoln
who is Kids Next Door operator number 5,
Sonia,
and one of the main characters in the series, as well as Sonia, known as number 68. However, once we get to season 6, episode 13, one of the episodes before the finale, that's where a lot of the crazy things get revealed. And that's when number 274's character starts to go confusing.
At first, after Janet Dixon was defeated at the end of the finale, Benedict gave it definition and declared himself a teenager, you think he would be
a full-blown villain.
You would think
it would be a major threat of the series going forward.
Except that it turns out in season 6, episode 13, Operation Treaty, that it turns out that Janet is also one of the members of the Kids Store that are still staying Kids Store on their 13th birthday, and was actually conspiring against the Team Ninja. And just this whole time, lots of the other store operatives that are still Kids at Store. You have Rudy Burgess, who's usually the spy on teen and even adult or villainy. As some Kids Next Door members do get to see Kids Store, you know, the Burgess, they weren't actually going to get decommissioned. Though the thing with Janet Dixon is that he's been mostly shown to be as a villain in the series since after the events in 2. So really he was working against the Teen Ninjas and it's but the thing is that we never see foreshadowing of this and contradicts explaining things mostly in season 2 of the show. There's many things mainly the events at the end in season 2. It's the time Tony and Gillian joined the Kids Next Door as number T, which they actually did that, but they also con that in the season 3 finale. And that's why Chad Dixon, aka number 274, is on number 10
on this list.
For my 9th least favorite character of all time, we have Rosamel the Wizard. Now, first of all, I know that some of you don't like the 2025 Smurfs movie, but I actually do. As much as it's not a masterpiece, it was actually not that bad. In fact, I give it an 8 out of 10. And if you don't remember from my 2025 ranking of my movies from worst to best, the only 3 I didn't like in 2025, which was last year, were Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw, Happy Gilmore 2, and Mufasa the Lion King. In that order from least favorite to least bad. Really do love Smurfs 2025. And I actually enjoy Smurfs movie a lot. And especially as I watch it as its own thing. And not by comparing it into the franchise or comparing to other movies. Especially as someone that really enjoyed the live-action Smurfs movies. And The Lost Village, too. And I don't even mind Smurf fan as Rihanna. It may seem off-putting that she's voiced by her, but I don't mind it that much. And Smurfette in this movie is still a great character. With my favorite part, or with her faking out Rosamel, thinking that she's joining him in the dark side, when nope. She just did that just so she can kick Rosamel in the face and get Jaunty back from him, and her and no name try to escape with the last of the 4 Grindelwalds Rosamel needs to take over the world. And there's also the concept, the no-name Smurf, now known as Sorcerer Surf, which is what I'm officially calling him, and who he really is in the movie. Try and fight me. There were basically a lot of things I really liked about the 29th Century movie. However, Gargamel's younger brother, Rosamel, is unfortunately not one of these things I actually like from the 29th Century movie. And with Rosamel being super unlikable and doesn't have any and almost little to nothing of personality outside of being part of this cult. Yeah, Rosamel is definitely the inferior version to Gargamel. With less humanity, no depth, no personality, or likability. And I only find it funny when he's faked out by Smurfette, and or him being outsmarted by her and No Name, and once he's finally defeated once and for all. As Gargamel quotes how he says it. Says it of how bad Rosamel is. Bye-bye. Number 8. Creek from DreamWorks Trolls. Yeah, it's obvious he was going to end up on this list. I mean, I am a very huge DreamWorks Troll fan.
And I really love the sequels.
With my favorite of the movies being Trolls World Tour. Though I will admit that over time, especially when comparing it to the sequels,
Though I started to like the first movie slightly less, since the problems in that one start to become more noticeable. And the worst of them is definitely this guy.
From DreamWorks Troll, a purple troll with blue hair, an orange nose, presented to be calm and present. He is presented as a great yoga teacher, though he's also very cowardly and selfish, and even if he did feel bad about what he did to Poppy and Branch and the rest of the trolls, was back in the first movie, well, he basically had no remorse for what he did. Long story short, Creek tried to have the Burden ship pardoned, not to have him be fed. Despite us all knowing that the Burdens don't need to eat trolls to be happy. And she knows they don't need to eat trolls to be happy, but only makes them believe that just so she can gain power. And she was even gonna overthrow King Crystal Jr. from his throne. As for Creek,
the fact that Poppy and the others were going to go out of their way to save Creek only leads to reveal that he was actually going to sell his friends out and even let all the other trolls back. Let's get captured by those birds too. With the conspiracy that the bird chef of hers as envying women is just shameful, but also really fitting for her and Creek.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the Burden Chef and Creek are basically better off and perfect as a villainous duo.
For what it's worth, hence placing Creek at number 8 on this list. And good on Branch for being a better best friend and lover and boyfriend and soon husband to Poppy as someone that actually cares about her no matter what, especially how far they came throughout the whole series.
Number 7.
The name's Rex. Rex Danger Vest. Galaxy defending archaeologist.
The one character in Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Nope.
Goodbye!
Number 6, Amy from Total Drama Pockettail Island. Yep, Amy's there too. And for all the right reasons. Like how her younger twin sister Sammy is one of the top tier
Favorite Total Drama characters. Unlike her, with the only thing differentiating our favorite character from Total Drama Pockettail Island, from this jerk, is her birthmark. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about Amy from Total Drama Pockettail Island. I think she's really bland and super mean-spirited. Since Amy doesn't help the team in any way possible, and usually gets credit for what Sammy does, and it's more consistent on bossing Sammy around than actually helping for real. And it's all the more justified that Jasmine is especially the one who sees through Amy and know that Sammy is a good twin. Sure, Sammy, he does get Amy unfairly eliminated by tricking her into eating the magical Neo fruit that Sammy always ate twice. The second time, she did just have Amy eat it and get poisoned, then leading Sammy to steal her spot in the game, foiling her plot to vote her own sister off, which, honestly, considering all the horrible things Amy has done to her, not just in the show, but for her entire life, especially when knowing what a terrible person Amy is especially when she tried to get Amy called out for standing up to her. But yeah, especially since he was literally a jerk to anyone, and the fact that he prefers her bossing Sammy around than actually help her team in real. When Sammy's the one helping the team in real life. So I would say that's actually a yes for Sammy and a big F you to Amy.
Number 5, Alexandra Greenson. By far the worst anime character of all time.
Have been
From her name and personality, as well her simping for Caillou. She's just a filler character who's basically even Bruce's version of stepping to Gavin. And there's really saying something. Number 4, Robin from Teen Titans Go! There's definitely no one else in that horrible 2013 reboot of the Teen Titans series that is more distasteful than him. He even showed old George Washington's role as the first president of America in one episode.
But don't worry, he's now just a normal, friendly rival of mine. But it's still a troublemaker, and especially the lot, especially on the show. Harrison, to a lot of people, and Harrison to many people, and ultimately leads to him making himself look bad in front of everyone.
Number 3, Scarlet, a character also from Total Drama Pockettail Island, and also my sworn enemy.
She may not look very menacing or someone that would backstab any of our friends until we see her true identity.
This is the real me, the Scarlet that I've kept hidden until now. Biding my time, waiting to strike. I am evil!
I thought we settled this last time back in the Christmas of 2018.
Yeah, she was killed off a long time ago. Though it won't be the last we see of her. Unfortunately.
Number 2, Young, without a doubt, the worst adventure camp character of all time. He bullies Betty, Raya, Blake, Rose, and Adrian. Always been a toxic boy's friend to Red and even tried to kill Gappy in season 3. Thank God Red broke up with him and James betrayed him to make he doesn't poison Adrian. Ha 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 ha.
You always wondered why that app didn't exist. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent. Want a custom workout plan? Make an app for that. Have a great idea at 2 a.m.?
And surprising no
Need to run an
one.
analysis? Or learn with your kids?
My number 1 most hated character is Ferris Bueller. Save your life. Without it. Without, yeah, it's like 100. Without a doubt, the most despicable, selfish, stereotypical, and also like character of all time. And with the worst movie of all time. I mean, for what it's worth. He is so unlikable and bland. But whenever I'm seeing the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I'm rooting for Edward Rooney more than Ferris Bueller. Edward Rooney at least tried to reach out to people, well, and especially especially when people portray him as the good guys of everybody. Are you with Ferris Bueller, the main protagonist? I don't buy it. Because this rebellious student and it's just a very big stereotypical pain in the ass. He takes advantage of his friends, scams his family, faking sick, and is just an all-around horrible person, both in real life and in the movie, and in my world as a whole, and is the most deserving to be my number 1 worst character of all time. And those are my top 10 most hated characters of all time. And they definitely be locked away in exile for their time. Especially don't want their show or movie to keep going on forever, because they're starting to have their lives ruined over time. Especially with people running both their shows and popularity to the ground, ruining their lives. And some of them, I'm willing to help get them better lives.
especially done with running themselves into the ground. Well, only some of them, that is.
But what do you guys think?
It's got like a human ear on a bird face.
Ink.
But
To my top 10 least favorite characters of all time. Let me know in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time.